Welcome back to Knights of the Old Republic 2 here on Serious Gaming. Dantooine, once again, has a Jedi enclave. In ruins still, but some repairs have been done. Bit ridiculous if you want to ask me, to be honest. Vrook's efforts, I suppose. There's only 2 masters left. And they both will die. Alright.
It is different. It has been some time. Forgive me, but I need to rest. Go on. The council awaits. I will remain here.
You're afraid?
Yes. Afraid for you. As I always have been, I will be fine here. Whatever answers the council have are for you alone.
Stay here then. Very well, I shall return shortly.
Know that much may happen here, but above all, do not forget this. You may trust in me. We cradle each other's lives, and what threatens one of us threatens us both. And if you find you cannot trust me, trust in your training, trust in yourself. Never doubt what you have done. All your decisions have brought you to this point. And now, perhaps, they shall see what you have become.
So, you have finally come. We were wondering if you would come to finish us.
We know what you have done to the others. The fault is mine. I knew you for what you were when we met on Dantooine, and I should have stopped you then.
Oh yes, I love this extremism on display. Kavar made a choice to fight me, and because I sided with Vaklo. Now apparently the game is treating me as if I've decided all along to kill every Jedi. Even though if I had decided that, none of them would be standing here. Then let us end this. And by the way, just for an idea here, the game actually heavily punishes you if you do that, because you end up fighting a number of Jedi Masters at the same time, which hurts you quite a bit. But either way, time to fight.
And so here lies all that remain of the Jedi. It is a powerful thing you have achieved here. You have brought death again to Dantooine.
Is that all the Jedi who remain?
Your actions have crippled the Order, perhaps destroyed them.
Are all the Jedi dead?
No. Perhaps it is difficult to say. For every Jedi slain, for every Sith slain, another rises. But the Order is wounded, yes.
Why have you brought me here?
Because there is something we must discuss. I have done what I can to keep you from the Jedi and the Sith, but a critical moment approaches, and what you have done is not enough. Master Vrook, despite his faults, was right to come here. I had thought he might have recognized Dantooine for what it was, what had been done there. You are tied to places such as these, you know.
Vrook said Dantooine was a dead world, that all deaths here were screams felt in the Force.
Yes, but Master Vrook was unwilling to see what other masters may have seen, that the echo of Dantooine he felt was inside you as well. They admitted it as much in the council chamber after your trial, though they did not understand what it meant at first. They assumed it was a threat that they felt. From one perspective, they were correct. As much as you can form connections to others, such connections exist on a galactic scale as well. It is possible to hurt or sever those connections, to create places in the Force where it is difficult to center oneself, but that is the crudest form of manipulation. It is possible to affect those connections in other ways, by the slightest action, a seemingly minor choice, a small cruelty. The stronger your connection to life, to the Force, the stronger these echoes can be made, and the stronger they are felt. When heard, Force sensitives instinctively seek out the source, are drawn to it to try and form a connection. And when the connection is formed, both become stronger, and the influence between them grows.
Is this what has been happening to my companions?
Your companions. Many are touched by the Force on some level, and in many ways they serve out of compulsion and because your connection influences them strongly. It was much like it was for you in the Mandalorian Wars, with many Jedi under your command. But this connection has other consequences. When the source is wounded, the one on which others draw strength, then they are wounded as well. What one feels, the other feels. And when others die, the scream travels back to the source.
Traveling back to me.
If they occur at the same time, or at the right time, these screams will build upon each other until it is the only sound you can hear. And the deaths of many will cause the screams to build until their pain becomes yours, and you die as well. And that is why during the Mandalorian Wars, you lost your connection to the Force. It was that final battle, the deaths of so many Jedi, that caused you to lose your connection. It caused the wound that you feel now. It caused pain in the Force, an emptiness, a wound that has yet to heal. But it does not end there. If it did, then perhaps the threat that we face would be more manageable. This pain I describe, the echo of these acts, is true of planets as well. Tremendous loss of life on a planetary scale can also cast echoes, create a scream, a wound in the Force that can travel across the galaxy. It can be felt by Force sensitives, and it can influence them whether they realize it or not. If enough of these echoes are allowed to build in the Force uncontrolled, the consequences could be disastrous. The connections of all life would be affected.
Vrook said that it was difficult to feel other Force users on Dantooine because of the destruction there.
Yes, in that he was correct. But like Vrook himself, that is incomplete in itself, and it only achieves meaning when part of a larger whole. As I have said, screams and their echoes can overlap, build in strength, and if timed correctly they will build on each other, the scream will grow. And anything that can hear this scream shall be deafened or killed.
How could anyone create, let alone control, such a thing?
With difficulty. And controlling it, well, I do not believe such a thing is possible once it has begun. But in order for this to work, all of them must be timed correctly, must be carefully orchestrated and controlled, from the greatest to the smallest of echoes. Even the ones that come from a lone exile, echoing across the galaxy. And when that exile forms connections to others as you do, the danger becomes apparent. The echo continues to grow, to travel.
Kavar said I form bond easily. Connection to all life.
Yes, he is correct. You form such bonds easily. The why of it is not important now. All that is important is that you understand that your actions affect others strongly. Anyone can do such things, since life is connected by the Force. Sometimes the connections are faint, but in your case, they are very strong. You instinctively know how to manipulate such connections, to influence others. You have seen it mirrored in those who travel with you. You give others strength to act, but it is also possible to draw upon the strength of others to increase your own. It is similar to drawing upon the Force as Jedi do, but when it is touched by the power of the dark side, it is something else, something deadly. These Sith we face, they have learned how to do this. It is a technique that has been lost for some time, not seen in the day since the ancient Sith. They can use it to consume other Force sensitives, and at the highest pinnacle of power, use it to consume anything that lives. The blind seer. Her master has harnessed this technique, and he is rapidly approaching the height of its power. I fear he may even rival some of the ancient Sith. He is already more of a force than a living thing, a hole in the Force that threatens to draw everything into it. And the teaching must die with him, or else all life will be placed in jeopardy. The destruction of the Order, the Masters, it was not an end in itself. I did not expect them to still live. Their presence was knowledge I did not possess. But now this has been corrected, and now the sides of this conflict are as I had thought them to be. There are no more unknowns. But this moment is all that really matters. It was never my wish that you find the Masters, only find yourself, although I did not expect them to still live. I had hoped you would learn something from the Jedi Masters as they fell before you. Not just of battle, but of yourself and the Force.
What was I supposed to learn?
I must know if killing them, if revenge brought you any measure of satisfaction, if seeing them dead has settled the disquiet within you.
Why do you wish to know?
Because it matters to me, in a way that never mattered to the Jedi, to the Council when they cast you out. You must understand, I did not wish the Jedi dead. Defeated, perhaps. I merely wished them to see that they and their teachings were wrong, that one could not truly understand the Force simply by adhering to the Jedi Code. All I have ever trained have been failures to them. Students who went to fight the Mandalorians, who fell to the dark side, who abandoned their training. To see one that had the strength to best them, that is a moment I will not forget. Yet it has not been as satisfying as I had hoped. To best one in battle is one thing. To defeat them without striking a blow, that was my hope. Regardless, it had to be done. To have such powerful Jedi still live, still be felt in the Force, even on such worlds as they had chosen, was a threat that had to be ended.
To the Sith?
To the Sith? No, not to the Sith. Perhaps not in the way you would think. Let us return to my question. If by killing these Jedi, if you achieved any measure of peace...
You still haven't answered the question of why. Such peace is not possible if the Sith still haunt us.
It was as I thought. You have failed me, completely and utterly. I have taught you to hear the Force again, shown you the contrast, and yet still you do not understand. This is what you have wrought. countless murderers, slayers, assassins, born of war that has, as always, taught the wrong lesson. You showed them life without the Force, and instead of showing them truth, power, all you showed them was how the galaxy may die. You are responsible for all of this. Even now, events spiral towards destruction, and there is nothing that can be done because you refuse to listen, to understand. You have seen the effects you have on those close to you, heard the echoes scream across dead planets, and watched as your strength has grown. Yet it is for nothing. To have the Jedi Masters brought low by such a failure, there is no victory in that. You have not heard a thing I have taught, and for all I have said, you have never learned to listen. There. Do you feel that, exile? It cuts through your defenses, as unprepared for such an attack as you are. Let that pain be a lesson and a reminder of what you have forgotten. You were my last hope, the only one who could change what is to come. And now you have left me nothing. I shall teach you no longer. Our bond remains, but that is all. This place will hide you from the Sith for a time, enough to do what must be done. Stay here and die, apprentice, among the wreckage of all that remains of the Jedi. It is a fitting grave until the Sith come to end you, to end everything. It is done. She is no more. Take me to Atris. She will have the strength to do what the Council cannot. You have taught them to bond with others, and then feed on others through that bond. What you have brought is the death of all who can feel the Force. It is your gift to the galaxy, exile. And unless you hear it, and silence the echo you have caused, then every living thing everywhere that is touched by the Force will die.
What are we gonna do? If we don't stop her, then everyone, everywhere, they're gonna lose their lives.
If I lose her, it will be my failing. It is the failing of the Jedi who followed Revan. It is a failing of their teaching.
Soon your ship will come, my master. I will bring her before you, but I will not let you have her. Soon your ship shall come from that which made you.
I know you can hear me. I have always known. It is why I followed you. I have destroyed planets for you, General, but now, this once, if we could save something in this galaxy, I need to do this, or I will die inside, like I died at Malak 5.
Very well. So I drained their, not just their lives, me or Kreia. In a way. I guess there was never any mercy awaiting them. Perhaps killing them was going to be what I thought would be a mercy in a sense, but it was not. It was horror. Well, my character is what the exile is. A monster. There's no simple way of saying that. What she does, the mind control that she has over her companions, is a horror. What do I have though? What did I pick up? You know, maybe with Mandalore, maybe the real way of playing with him is going... I guess that's good enough for him. Yeah, that ability there basically puts all your buffs on you. What happened here?
She's gone. The handmaidens came for her. They know who she is now.
And you didn't stop them?
I couldn't stop them. I wasn't conscious at the time. I don't even know if I could have stopped them.
Where are they taking her?
They'll take her to Telos, and Atris will do what she'll do with anyone she thinks is a Sith.
Atris will execute her.
Yeah, she will. If she can.
Then we're going to Telos. And we're going with an army.
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
The droid army, the Mandalorians, Vaklu, the Dantooine militia. I have a military force that can bend the galaxy.
Is something wrong? You look troubled. I can feel it.
I fear I have been influencing you all without realizing it.
I do not understand what you mean.
Do you ever wonder why you're with me? Now, do you understand why you attack, why attack? Kill, why kill?
I follow you. Feel as I do because it is my choice. I believe in what we are doing, what you are doing. I am here because I choose to be.
But what if the Force is just controlling all of this?
I simply do. There is nothing I can show you as proof, except give you my word. Something happened within the Enclave. What is it?
All the deaths I caused on Malachor might cause the death of the Force, and everyone around me.
Then they do not understand you. That is the danger of being a Jedi. When one separates themselves from others, chooses to lead a life of isolation, denying what makes them a feeling being, it is easy to make such judgments. And such judgments, I believe, are made in ignorance. There is no danger in what you represent, other than your humanity. You change others, but I do not believe it is due to the Force. I believe it is because you are a natural leader, and because you feel connected to the people around you. Where they look at you and see the death of the Force, I look at you and see hope for all life. And that perhaps a life lived without the Force is not the punishment it is believed to be. I will understand if you feel you must go alone, but I ask that you do not. Instead, take strength from your connections to others. Do not forsake them, as you did in exile. There are others who need to know you. Telos needs you. The planet and all its people are in danger if we do not stop the Sith now. Then the Republic will fall. Admiral Onasi, I have found the exile, and that which hunts the Jedi. The Sith will attack Telos. They believe many Jedi lie hidden on its surface. We are going there now to aid them. Mikal out.
We will have words, Atris. And this will be decided here.
is there?
Who I am is not the question.
I am Atris, Jedi Master, the last historian of the Jedi, the last of the Jedi.
Those are titles, words you cling to as the darkness falls around you. It is not the first time we have met, Atris. I was here before.
With the exile?
Yes, I was here both times when the exile was brought before you.
Who are you?
I was the one who asked her to be exiled.
I did as you asked, so long ago. You seem familiar to me.
Atris, I have always been here.
You are that which has attacked the Jedi. You are Sith.
Sith is a title, yes, but like you, the title is not who I am. It is not what I believe. For you, it is different. Know that there was once a Darth Treya, and that she cast aside that role, was exiled, and found a new purpose. But there must always be a Darth Treya, one that holds the knowledge of betrayal, who has been betrayed in their heart, and will betray in turn. You have bathed in the knowledge of the Sith, but there is not enough truth in such teachings. But it will be a step for you. You have gathered Sith holocrons, Sith teachings from across the galaxy. It is why you have chosen servants who cannot feel the Force. And most importantly, they cannot feel what you have become.
I have sought to preserve the Jedi Order, and I have gathered all that I know of the Sith to this place, so I might find them and stop them.
I had wondered if any of these holocrons had survived Dantooine. You have taken relics from one destroyed planet to the devastation of another.
It was always intended for the Jedi to retreat to Telos should Dantooine be attacked, taking all their lore with them. We could not allow the tragedy at Ossus to happen again.
Such an act marked Telos for destruction. It is why the Sith came here, though the fleet commanders did not know why. It is why Revan ordered its destruction to mark the beginning of the Jedi's civil war. It was a message that there would be no place for the Jedi to retreat, to hide. I would not be surprised if Revan left other gifts beneath the surface of the planet. Much can be buried beneath graveyards that will never be found.
When the Sith attacked, I felt Telos die. Turbo lasers fell like lightning upon the landscape, as they did on Dantooine, and so many died, so many voices, screaming in pain.
Yes, such acts leave their mark on the galaxy. Their cries travel far, though few can hear them.
How did it happen?
Search your heart. It was never battle that called to you, never battle that caused you to fall. Alacor 5 has touched many things, and it casts its echoes still.
Why did she betray me?
You betrayed yourself. Do not blame the exile. And unlike you and I, there is still a chance that one may be saved, the one that you cast out.
Where is the exile? I had thought...
Oh, she will come, but it will be too late to save either of us. It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it.
The war begins.
Your mistress awaits. She has much to share with you.
What happened to the handmaidens? Did she slaughter them? I mean, I guess the canon is that Brianna came back here, because that's what happens if you are a male.
She said you would come here to this place. If you think you can defeat me here, you are wrong. All this collected knowledge, all these teachings of combat and the Force, they're mine to command. And if I must use it to end you, I will. Surrender. You need not die.
Atreus, you have fallen to the dark side. Surely you see that.
Atreus? That is not who I am, not any longer. She has not existed for some time, I think. There was always something else within me. It just took time for its voice to be heard.
What happened to you?
The old woman you traveled with finally made me listen to myself, to the galaxy. She said that you would come here, and that you would face me in battle.
Atreus, we don't have time for this nonsense. As much as I would love to shove a lightsaber through your gut, we need to unite to stop the Sith.
Yes, the Sith are here at last. You have brought them to this place as I had foreseen. It has all been part of my plans for you. And when I defeat you and the forces you have brought to Telos, I shall take the battle to the heart of the Sith and wipe them out forever.
The forces I have brought here? Those forces are here to save Telos and the Republic. Where is the Sith base?
I do not know, yet, but it does not matter. They have come here to face the Republic in battle, and they will be destroyed.
You have placed everyone on Citadel Station in jeopardy, Atreus.
Yes, the Sith are here at last. You have brought them to this place as I had foreseen. It has all been part of my plans for you. And when I defeat you and the forces you...
What plans are we
These
talking
Sith
about?
are cowards, striking from the shadows to kill Jedi. I needed a target to draw them out, but I could not risk my own life, all that remained of the Jedi. So I arranged for you to return to the Republic, leaked information of your past, and then waited for the Sith to come. And they did. But you came to Telos against my predictions. Now they are here, I can finally face this enemy and defeat them.
What is this place?
All the knowledge of the Sith, gathered from across the galaxy, brought here by my servants, so that I might uncover their secrets, and use them to track them down. But now they have been drawn from the shadows of the Outer Rim, and the only final matter to attend to is finishing you.
And when the Sith are defeated, what then?
When the Sith are destroyed, then I shall rebuild the Jedi Order again. They shall have none of the weaknesses of before. They shall be strong, willing to take battle to any who oppose them and weaken the Republic. They shall not train those who are easily corrupted. No more students that will bring war and hate to the galaxy.
Atreus, you'll make the Jedi into the Sith.
The Sith are the Jedi are the Sith. What matters is that they be preserved, all the lore, all the teachings brought to a new generation. I am the last of the Jedi, and I will show them this truth. Bring it to the galaxy.
Weakness. Like when you fled Qatar and Dantooine.
I did not flee. I did what was necessary to fight the Sith and preserve the last of the Jedi.
And you left the Jedi to die on Qatar.
Yes, I sensed what would happen on Qatar. It was I who leaked knowledge of its presence in the hopes of drawing the Sith out. I will not deceive you. I knew what could happen there, but it had to be done to make the Sith reveal themselves. But I did not know the extent of their power, and what that meant for the Jedi. I will not underestimate them again.
You were responsible for the murder of an entire planet.
As are we both. You who brought the screams of Malak to the galaxy, do not preach to me. You lead by example, you always have. You knew what was necessary at Malak 5, and the stakes in this war are higher than you know. It is a war of extermination, of total annihilation.
What were the Jedi doing on Qatar?
They hoped to gather, to use their combined knowledge of the Force to see, to listen to the currents of the galaxy. They hoped to find out what was happening to the Jedi, why they were dying, and they discovered it. It revolved around you, as it always has. It is you who have tried to end us.
Me? I mean, I did, but really, not exactly a goal I had set out for myself.
Yes. From the destruction of Qatar, a vision emerged. It is the last act the Jedi were able to perform before the planet was destroyed. So that is why I arranged for you to return to the Republic, so that I might draw the Sith out and end them.
But it makes no sense.
Is it not obvious? You are one of the Sith, fallen at Revan's side. The path to them lies through you.
That makes no sense. I am not allied with these Sith.
The pronouncement on Qatar was clear, and you are the key. And look, you have come to battle me, Sith versus Jedi, as was intended.
What was this pronouncement on Qatar?
It was a vision. It showed you, standing upon the many battlegrounds of the Mandalorian Wars. The Duxan jungles, the destroyed cities of Onderon. Whatever this threat we faced, it was from something you had done, and like all things would return to you. All echoes do.
That vision means nothing. No. If it showed the future, then that is only one such possibility.
Yes, it was one such possibility. The others were only darkness, a galaxy devoid of the Force. But always there was an echo. The Jedi on Qatar did not realize the significance of this. They had not stood in judgment of you so long ago. They had not heard the same echo I did when you stood before us, and when we cast you into exile.
That vision on Qatar, was it the future or the past?
It may have been both. The past, the future, both linked. The only aspect of the vision that was certain was you.
What is the echo?
Of course, you still do not know. The Jedi Council was not sure you would believe them if they told you, and I'm not sure they fully believed it themselves. It is why they wanted to exile you. So there, beyond the Outer Rim, you would come at last to hear that echo, and understand what happened. It was why you deserved death, and why I wished you executed.
But what is the echo?
It is the sound of life in agony. It is a wound in the Force that has yet to close. War, destruction, these events leave wounds in the galaxy, in all life. The death of one can send echoes through hundreds, even thousands, across many planets. If not checked, then it spreads until nothing is left. Something that you had done in the past has caused this new threat, this death of all Jedi, and you were responsible for it. It was only proper that you be brought back to face your crime. You had killed countless Jedi once. The deaths of more Jedi were not beyond you. If you were responsible for the threat, then you would answer for it. If not, then you would draw the Sith from hiding so that they might be defeated. Either way, you deserved your fate.
Why did you not warn the Jedi what would happen?
They knew the risk, because they sought to hide, to reflect, to hesitate while our numbers thinned and Jedi died. They knew the risks in going to Qatar, and they deserved what happened to them. It was their punishment for hiding from the galaxy, for hiding from me.
Punishment? Are you even listening to yourself at this stage?
They're the same questions, the same thoughts you have had. Who are these Jedi who survived the Jedi Civil War? They're not the Jedi I know, the ones I once worshipped. They are cowards, and doubters, and afraid. What manner of Jedi hide from a threat? Who turn on their own, and imprison them on dead worlds?
I've heard enough. Prepare to die.
Very well, let us end this.
Oh, did you think I was gonna spare her life? I may have spared everyone else's life, but not hers.
Kill me. End this.
After everything you've done, Atris. I wonder if I should humiliate her or just kill him.
You have done well. All is as I have foreseen. There must always be a Darth Treya, and if it will not be her, then I must assume that role, and as always bring about the betrayal of the Jedi and the Sith.
If you are here, show yourself.
I am not here, not in the flesh, not in your mind. These holocrons hold much of the Sith, and they hold much of my teachings from long ago. But you have much yet to learn, and great tests await you. The death of the past, the death of this false Jedi was only part of it. One of the Sith Lords has come to Telos. You know why he has come here, and if he is not stopped here now, then he shall lay waste to this planet. You must confront him. He is part of the past, and like this false Jedi, must be laid to rest. Only then shall you be ready for your final test. If not, then you shall die.
Then I shall meet him in battle, and then I'll put an end to you.
Such arrogance. You know where the final test lies. It is not here, not in the battle that will wage across the surface and skies of this dead planet. And know that if you do not come to me, if you run from this, then I shall sacrifice myself and end both our lives through the bond we share. You know where you must travel, and there I shall be waiting for you.
HEA47 reporting for duty. Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.